So I just saw this video where this guy said that your future self is watching you in real time through memory. Your future self is watching you in real time right now through memory because they're just looking back at what's going on right now through your eyes, quite literally, because that's you. I like to think about that type of stuff. Future self, past self. I sometimes I'll do things, and I'll certainly forget that I did it. But before I, went like either before or while I'm doing this thing, whatever it may be, I'll say, or I'll think to myself, my future self will appreciate that. Like if I buy some extra batteries, and just have them in the cabinet for when the batteries in the remote dies or something like that, or when the kids run out of batteries for their PlayStation controllers and whatnot, Instead of having to run to a store, I'm like, oh, cool, pass me, took care of me, nice, you know. Um, so I started thinking about that, and that particular scenario has a different component to it called emotion. When I'm in the present and I reap the benefit of something that my past self did, I'm appreciative of my past self for having done that thing. But if I, in real time, in the past, hadn't considered my future self in doing that action, I wouldn't have done it. You know? You know what I mean? Um, so it's like it's a multifaceted idea, and it's kind of esoteric to a degree, quantum in nature, if you will, to contemplate these things because all these things are kind of happening at the same time. You right now is your future self in comparison to your past self that you can remember right now. You can remember the things that you did in the past, right? You can remember the things that you did in the past. You can remember the decisions that you made. You remember the people that you talked to, the people that you didn't talk to, the places that you went or didn't go, the activities you participated in or held off from. All of it. All of it. You right now are your future self looking back at your past self and their decisions. I'm thinking about this for myself, and the emotion that is attached to what your past self does, how you feel about the things that you did in the past, are all based on your decisions in the present. Quite literally, all you do is make decisions all day. All day, every day, that's what you're doing. You decide when you're gonna set an alarm. You decide whether or not you're gonna set an alarm. You decide what time you set the alarm. You decide if you're going to respect that alarm when it goes off to wake you up. You decide whether you want to hit snooze. You decide every little thing throughout the day, and it doesn't seem like it so much because these are all a bunch of split second micro decisions, but that does not negate the fact that you are making decisions all day, every day. We all are. I'm attempting to not make the decision to pause too long between these thoughts because I'm kind of not freaking myself out, just stumbling into a different place where I haven't contemplated. I haven't really thought about this aspect of it. But here's what I started to think about when I was in the kitchen earlier. And this is actually something that I used to contemplate all the time. I used to, inside my head, I didn't say this to a lot of people. I used to say, whether or not you like it, the decisions that you have made, every decision that you've made, has led you to where you are right now. If you are happy, if you are sad, if you're miserable, if you are excited, if you're broke, if you're paid, if you're whatever, if you're in a relationship, if you're not, if you're married, divorced, if you got kids, don't have kids, whatever, everything, every circumstance of your life has come about based on the decisions that you made. Now, if you feel good about that, then that's good. You know, just keep making the decisions that you've been making. That have led you to where you are in that good feeling place. If you're not so much though, if you're not so much feeling all that great about where you are and how you're feeling about yourself when you look back at past you in the present, future self looking at the past you, when you look at the past you and you feel like, I shouldn't have done that. Well, that was dumb. That was a bad decision. I know I shouldn't have done that. And then when you make that decision and then the consequences show up for that decision, that is a snapshot in the timeline. The timeline continues to flow on, and you in the future is looking back at you in the past and judging you for that decision that you made. And don't say you're not, because I do it. That's why you feel the way that you feel about yourself. You're looking back at the decisions that you made. So all the decisions that we make, perhaps we should try to lean more towards making those decisions on behalf of the contentment of our future self. We have to make better decisions. I have to make better decisions. We have to make better decisions because what you do in the moment is you making a decision whether or not you're going to do that thing. Are you going to stick to the diet this time? Are you going to work out this time? You decide whether or not you do that. Are you going to call them? Are you going to call them back? Are you going to text them back? Are you going to leave that person alone? Are you going to continue to lead them on? You're going to tell the truth about that thing you've been doing? You're going to keep lying about it? Everything's a decision. You're going to keep that secret? You're going to continue to keep that secret? You're just not going to come clean about that? Okay. Oh, you want to tell the truth? Are you? Are you? All right. Everything's a decision. And the decisions that we make in the present lead us to feel the way that we feel about ourselves. So if you want to feel better about yourself, you have to make more decisions that will lead to that outcome. All right, this was just a thought exercise, some stuff that I just wanted to share with you. I may or may not upload. I'll make a decision after I finish recording, I guess, but yet and still. I'm just kind of saving this for myself, I guess, to come back and contemplate later, because I'm serious. I really am needing to make better decisions in a lot of areas.